It's not that you're trying to be somebody that you're not. All of that potential and possibility exists within you. You're just tapping into it. We're just using this as a tool or a framework, a mind trick for you to tap into that main character. And the more you tap into your main character, the more you're going to bring out that persona. Welcome to Life is the Game, hosted by yours truly, Alexandra Nicole Stone. Get ready to uncover the secrets to mastering your destiny, becoming the main character in your life, and embracing a life filled with meaning and joy. Ready? Let's play. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Life is the Game. This is your host, Alexandra Nicole Stone, and I'm really excited for today's episode because we're going to be diving deep on main characters. And this can also be known as an avatar. It's kind of what helps you play life as a game or play any game. Whenever you're playing a game, you're sort of embodying this character, whether it's a preset character like The Legend of Zelda, you're playing as Link. I use that example a lot because it's top of mind. Or you're building your own custom character from scratch. So when we think about playing life as a game, in order to realize life is the game, we have to realize that we are the main character. You are the main character in your life. So it's this really exciting concept. And I really want us to learn how to tap into that main character energy so we can feel empowered whenever we're making decisions within our lives, whether that's, okay, I have to level up so I can, embody this main character I have in my mind. What are the steps that I need to do to level up in order to become that idealized version of myself or that badass version of myself, right? And I want to dive into a little bit about what does a main character mean? Really, a main character, whether this is in a novel or a game, is the central protagonist or the kind of the primary person which all the story sort of unfolds around. This happens quite frequently, in action movies. In movies like Indiana Jones, he's the protagonist. In Pirates of the Caribbean, I'd like to argue that it's Captain Jack Sparrow. In games like The Legend of Zelda, it's Link. For those of you that play Super Mario, it's Mario, right? And then there's like side characters like Princess Peach, Luigi, etc. When we start thinking about ourselves as a main character, it is empowering us. And we start looking at ourselves from a third point perspective instead of a first point perspective. My favorite kind of games are role playing games. And this is for the specific reason that I just love building my character. There's a game that I really like called Skyrim, and in it you pick the race of it. You can be like a cat character, a Khajiit. You can pick whether you want to be an elf or a Nord. I think it's called Nord or an orc. The people from the fandoms are gonna crucify me for saying the wrong thing. But you get to pick who your character is, your race. You get to customize every single little detail of your character's face, their hair, the hair color, tattoos, the whole thing, how skinny, how fat, how muscular, how tall they are. And I would spend hours just customizing this part of my character. And that's even before the game even starts, right? Then you name them, you kind of pick which stats or qualities you want them to have. Do you want them to be more strong or more inclined to magical abilities, right? The most exciting part of it is that you get to pick which story arches you want to invest your time in. So I love being a rogue, which is like an assassin. I'm into anything that's like sneaky, hiding in the shadows, kill you before you see me, or a bow and arrow. So those are the things that I like to invest my time in building. I'll be less inclined to build a juggernaut war character or a magic character, for example. And so as you're playing the game, I know like this is the kind of character I want to build. And this is my idealized version. I want to get it to be as sneaky as possible. I want to get to have a one-shot kill in the distance. I want to not make a single sound when I move, right? So these are all the sort of attributes I'm thinking about for my idealized character. And so as I'm playing the game, I'm picking side quests that are going to support the development of that character. So in Skyrim, it's like joining the Thieves Guild. You get some skills there and some cool armors and weapons. Or if you want to take it even further, it's like joining the Dark Brotherhood. And then you go on assassination missions and you get this sick black armor. Amazing. And some games take it even further where as you get armor and stuff, you can customize it. And the sky is really the limit. Some of you might disagree with me about this, but I haven't finished most games. I will admit, but I really just love the journey. Like for me, it's really about grinding and building that character to the point that I'm like, I feel like a complete fucking badass. It's really how I'm thinking about main character in terms of games and especially in terms of role playing games. It's not just in games that these main characters or we can also think about them as avatars, right? For those of us that are millennials and I don't know, we were on like these chat rooms with avatar chat rooms like IMUV or Zwinky. You'd customize everything and you'd go into this little world and start having conversations with people as your avatar, which is kind of this decked out virtual version of yourself. Avatars exist even in the real world, and we get to see them played out as people who are performing in theatrical productions, or, we have Beyonce going on stage as Sasha Fierce, right? She's going on stage. That's her avatar. That's the main character she's turning on for that moment. And then at home, she's just Beyonce reading a book, right? Or we have this happening with professionals. We put on business suits to look appropriate, to look formal, right? But we get home and we all like binge watch the same shows on. We're all people at the end of the day, but we just put on these masks or these costumes or these personas to sort of help us cope with reality or to put on the attitude that we need in that moment in time. I think one of the examples that best embody this are drag queens. And I think RuPaul says this, and he says, we're all born naked and the rest is drag, right? Drag queens or the art of drag is really used as an armor to go out into the world and be this person that you feel you can't be in your day to day. You're just not there yet. So a lot of the times drag queens put on this fantastical makeup and amazing costuming and they just feeling so sexy and fierce and powerful that they can do anything. And the thing is that when they take off that makeup, they know that they tapped into that character that exists inside of them. And so, really, the main character is not even something that doesn't exist within you. It's not an intangible thing. We're just using this as a tool or a framework or something to look at, right? To help you tap into what's already innately in you. So, that's the most exciting part. It's not that you're trying to be somebody that you're not. All of that potential and possibility exists within you. You're just tapping into it. This is just a little trick, a mind trick for you to tap into that main character, right? And bring it out. And the more you tap into your main character, the more you're going to bring out that persona. So I'm excited to announce that I've developed my own main character or avatar as I'm doing this podcast work and aspiring to be a motivational speaker and coach and all these things. I'm obviously getting really shy and nervous, and I'm feeling imposter syndrome absolutely all the time. So I want to practice what I'm preaching, and I've kind of developed a character for myself. I'm calling her Fearless Tigress. And there's a little bit of a story behind that, which is when I was in Peru doing the ceremonies and I was with my shaman, Master Roberto, after after the ayahuasca ceremony, my guide was a little bit concerned because I guess it was kind of an intense experience between Master Roberto and I. I was totally fine, but you know, Master Roberto and I were walking down the hill, and he was telling my guide not to worry because I'm strong. Ella es la tigresa. And he kept saying, la tigresa, la tigresa. And this really stuck with me as I left that experience. And in addition to saying la tigresa, he kept saying, beautiful woman, powerful woman. And it's almost like he was sort of affirming these insecurities that I had within myself. And, some of you guys don't know, but I'm not a petite woman by any means. I am I'm strong, like physically strong, and that's sort of like my body type. And I've suffered from body dysmorphia and all types of terrible things, right? But I'm learning to be comfortable in this skin, which is strong. That's part of my identity. I have a strong voice, I have a strong presence. Strong is just part of who I am. So, being beautiful, being strong, La Tigresa embodies that. And I think there's something else about the tiger, which is it is not only a strong, majestic creature, but it's so versatile. It is a big cat that can swim, it can climb trees, it is living in all kinds of environments, including the jungle, all the way to Siberia. So it is sort of this powerful, versatile, beautiful, majestic creature that you admire, but also maybe don't want to fuck with. So there's the tigress part of it. And then fearless is not because I'm necessarily fearless. I have no fears. The thing is, we're always going to have fears. Fears never go away. But if we really break down the words and the meaning, it's fearless. I want to fear less. As I embody this avatar, this persona, my main character, as I go through life's experiences, fear is going to come to the surface, but I'm going to have less and less fear. So it'll become easier and easier for me to face them. So the name will be Fearless Tigress. So it has a little bit of a rhyme to it. It's a little bit silly, it's a little bit fun, but I like it. I was never coming up with the most creative names for my characters, but this one feels right to me, and I want to hear her roar. That's the whole point. My entire objective with this mindset, with this framework, with this thought process is to help me live life like a game more. This is totally my own philosophy, but I need to remind myself all the time that life is a game. I need to have fun. And looking at my avatar and saying that I'm fearless tigress right before I do a recording is going to empower me to be more fierce, more powerful, more confident, right? My whole goal in all of this is, and when I say all of this, I mean my own personal journey. My goal in this work that I'm doing, or between the podcast and coaching and doing the Brave Goddess Project and public speaking, is to be the most uninhibited version of myself. I want to live in my own full potential. So, this is the part of me that maybe gets a little shy when I get on the microphone, where I start overthinking and stumbling in my words. I want to get that out of the way. I want to become my natural performer, filled with life and excitement at every single touch point and every single opportunity that I get. I don't want to let my insecurities prevent me from being the full version of myself. And so Fearless Tigress is going to come in and sort of intercept and empower me to achieve that goal. And just for fun, I've kind of created some stats for her. So Stats are kind of attributes your character has when you play a game that is going to work towards your advantage or disadvantage, and oftentimes that you work really hard throughout a game to build in order to play the game on your terms and have the most fun playing the game. For Fearless Tigress, her stats are going to be courage, confidence, charisma, wisdom, strength, influence, like one goes without saying, right? And freedom, as well as tactical intelligence, which honestly just means the girl is strategic. As I dabble in marketing, as I'm dabbling in podcasting, as I'm working on all those things, these are the elements, these are the characteristics which I'd like to foster. I want to get to the point where I could just turn on the camera and turn on the microphone and just be my pure, uninhibited, courageous self, free as a bird, speaking my mind, empowering others. That is really the goal and the objective here. Moving forward, I'm going to do a monthly sort of recap or main character check-in where Fearless Tigress will actually be giving the updates on how Alexandra Stone is doing. She'll be telling you where I will be struggling. Maybe I'm struggling in some areas where I knocked it out of the park, where I'm really growing and she feels like she's coming out more and more, and maybe where I've taken a step back and she feels like she can't be seen or heard. So I think it's going to be kind of a really interesting social experiment for us to do together. And if you want to see the progress that Fearless Tigress makes or that Alexandra Nicole Stone makes towards becoming and fully embodying Fearless Tigress, please make sure to tune in, share, like, follow, subscribe. This is Life is the Game, and you're going to find it everywhere podcasts are streamed, including YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, iHeartRadio, and any other platform that may not be coming to mind right now. Remember, you're the main character in your life. It's exciting. It's a big deal. So I want you to think about, how does that main character walk? What do they sound like? What kind of personality do they have? Are they funny? Are they serious? Do they demand respect when they walk in the room? Are they subtle? Are they extravagant? Are they a maximalist, a minimalist? How do they move through space? How do they interact with people? What colors do they wear? These are all things that you need to think about as you're building your character. Ready? Let's play.